Hey there, guys. I wanted to bring you one of my recent purchases. This is just kind of showing you the blade thickness of this new knife. The one on top is the Strider SNG, and the one on bottom is called the Kungfumo by Jake Hoback. Jake Hoback is a custom knife designer, and that's 154 cm blade steel. It is a chisel grind, and there the knife is. This is a fixed blade that I recently got off of Blade Forums. Gentleman had put it up for sale, and the deal was way too good to really pass up. So just to give you guys a somewhat of an idea of how big this guy is, it's almost the same size as the handle of the SNG, Strider SNG. It is a neck knife, but it also was made, the sheath was made to fit a large tech lock. So there it is. I'm not real big on chisel grinds at all, because I am a lefty, and for some reason chisel grinds generally were made for right-handed people. Not to say that this thing doesn't cut well. When I got it, it was as dull could get. I did my best to try and sharpen it up, and it's still fairly dull. Cuts through paracord, with a straight push it'll pop paracord. Before I sharpened it up, it definitely wouldn't even cut a strand of the paracord. It was so dull. I don't know if that was because of the person who had it before me. It is scratched up. I believe that's from the kydex, pulling it in and out. I did have to do a modification on the actual sheath, because when I originally received it, as you guys could see where that blade is, before the sheath was right on top of it, and it was actually cut, like somebody pushed it in a little too far, or at an angle or something, and it cut into the kydex, creating like a lip that was pointing upwards. So you could definitely push the sheath or the knife into the sheath, but you couldn't extract it because that lip of kydex was getting in the way. So it took a really strong pull to get it out, which I didn't like, so I had to cut that out. But to the specs, the total overall length of the blade is, I believe, 4.5 inches. The actual blade length is 1.75 inches, and the handle is 2.75 inches. So that adds up to 4.5 inches, correct? The blade thickness is 0.260 in blade thickness, so a little over a 1/4 inch thick. This thing fits, for a righty, it fits very well into the hand, because as you guys can see, there's only one side to the G10. This coloration of G10 is called a Inferno Orange. So in my hand, for a lefty, it feels awkward. The edges are not sharp, but definitely not rounded in any way, so it kind of cuts into my hand to use, whereas on this side, it doesn't. It cuts more into the fingers a little bit, but you don't notice it as bad, whereas on my side you feel it right in here for this back spot, or this part right here. So I did EDC this for a couple of days, just to see what it was like. Definitely has quite a bit of weight to it. In comparison to the Strider SNG, it's about the same weight, to tell you the truth. It's a very heavy little blade. I do like it a lot. I do like the blade shape. The only problem that I have is with the chisel grind. And I'd probably be happier if I was to send this back into Jake and see if he could throw some G10 on the other side for me, or find somebody that might be able to do that for me. As well as, I don't know, I thought about maybe perhaps asking him to make me one of these in a left hand, to tell the truth. This is his stamp, Jake R. Hoback. I like that axe, that's pretty cool. I did have to polish up the blade a little bit. The scratches were a lot more noticeable. And I just took some regular, oh, what is that stuff called? The flits. I had to take some flits to it. It definitely helped out with the polishing it up a little bit. Let me see here if I could get a nice shine to it, as I just cut into my cloth there. But the blade steel is 154 cm. Don't know if I already mentioned that. The G10 is held on by a 30,000 pound epoxy. So the epoxy supposedly is able to withstand 30,000 pounds worth of pressure before actually physically removing itself. So I don't think that it'll ever come off, to tell you the truth. I think that the G10 would probably chip away before the handle actually ever came off on its own. Interesting little knife. For those of you who don't know the size of a large tech lock, this is the size. Right there. I'll just show you a comparison to the San Remu. So, rather large lock. I don't know why he didn't design it so that it would fit a small tech lock, but definitely fits well in the sheath. No, it's got a little bit of wiggle to it, but not bad at all. I think the reason why it got so dulled out is because of this. I think maybe the blade possibly rubs on that rivet, so I'm not sure. I'm not 100% positive, but definitely has a decent edge now after sharpening it up. So don't know really much else to say about it. I do like it. You know, you guys know that I like those little custom knives. They are awesome. I just thought it was really cool when I saw it. I was like, wow, that's really nice. And then I saw the price. I was like, no way. And then I scrolled down to the bottom, and he had completely changed the price. He actually took off basically 60% off of the knife. So off of his original asking price. Plus then he decided to throw in the large tech lock as well, and the shipping for free. So it definitely came in at a good price, and very happy with it. Just a little update from my last video on these the Kershaw Junkyard Dog. I did get the action a little bit smoother. I found out that it was just tightened down. The blade is a little bit better centered, not by much. The only thing that I really don't like is there's a little bit of side to side movement. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but a little bit of side to side movement, no up and down movement whatsoever. The blade thickness on this is definitely decent. That's it compared to the San Remu, to the Boker Trance, to the S&G, and so definitely helped out with the flipping action. So I sharpened it up, definitely took a very good edge. It's definitely razor sharp now. Shaving hair sharp, popping paracord sharp. The lockup is a little bit better. You can actually push it in a little bit more than before. once I loosened it up. But definitely, I like the flipping action. It's very comfortable in hand, and after looking at it for a while, I definitely like the design. You know, it's basically of an aircraft basic design. You guys all pretty much know that. Fuel tank, no step, and that's the old, I can't remember, like jet pilot type insignia. But one thing that I noticed is that you can kind of get your hand in right there to do finer detail work, and I like that. I think that it would be a lot better if he was to kind of put a choil somewhere right inside of here. I think that, you know, it wouldn't really create too much of a problem for him to just take a little extra out right there, and that way you've got an extra choil to come up on. But overall, I'm really liking this knife, except for the blade play. Thing flips out excellently. So very little, or very minimal movement whatsoever to go ahead and get that guy out. You do have to use a little bit of a wrist flick to get it out nice and easily, but you could still do it without the wrist. I'm still not perfect on it, but there you go. Overall, decent little knife. Still haven't, you know, EDC'd it because I did just get this about 3 hours ago, 2 hours ago. You guys saw the unpackaging of it an hour ago, so overall, definitely a decent knife. I took it apart. The grease that they use, they have two little bronze phosphorus bushings. They're very, very tiny, and the grease that they had on there was kind of like pasty, so wasn't super good. It was a little bit dirty. I just cleaned it all off and threw some Chris Reeve fluorinated grease on there, and stuff works awesome. At first I tried, I don't know if you guys know what this is, but it's a hops oil. It's a gun oil, lubricant oil, and that's what I used to use on my knives until I got the fluorinated grease. And I really like the Chris Reeve fluorinated grease. For those of you who don't know, it comes in a tube like this. You use it very sparingly. The little thing just kind of turns like that, and also this. So, but this stuff's awesome. I mean, I put it on all of my knives now, and it's great. Probably with a little bit more work in on this guy, it'll probably be even faster and better of a flipper once it gets worn in a little bit. But I just wanted to give you guys an update, show you this guy, and hope you guys enjoy your night. So just so you know, once again, Jake Hoback, I'm sorry, Jake Hoback. He is a custom knife maker. Can't remember the state that he's in, but he definitely makes some strange, different fixed blades. I don't think he's gotten into any kind of folders yet. I didn't see any on his website, but if you guys want to check him out, he's pretty different kind of individual as far as knife makers, but some interesting stuff. Go check him out if you're interested, and hope you guys have a good night. Thanks. Bye.